Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of My Wife is Having an Affair This Week, also known as Listen to Love, a South Korean television series from 2016. It is 12 episodes long, with each episode being approximately 70 minutes in length each. It's actually based on a Japanese television series from 2007, which I have not yet seen. The story revolves around a man who has worked as a TV program director for the past 10 years. He suspects that his wife is having an affair, but does not know what to do or how to handle it emotionally. Now, there are also a few related side plots. First of all, our protagonist seeks some advice from anonymous people through online social networks and message boards. In addition, he subtly bounces ideas off of his coworkers who are developing a television show that tackles infidelity. Second, a few of his acquaintances had or are having marital difficulties themselves. So it's all revolves around this, the premise of infidelity and marital difficulty. Now I'm going to tell you right now, if you think this K-drama is going to cop out with its premise, it does not. It does not. I was rather impressed and happy about that. The script spends a lot of time exploring the psychological impact of infidelity from multiple angles. I mean, you have the people who are cheated on, the people who cheated, and the people who are affected by these circumstances, like their children. It portrays marriage after infidelity is exposed as something that is very difficult and complicated. Hanging on to a marriage after these affairs are brought to light is a constant struggle. And some of the relationships in this show begin to just spiral completely out of control. It's very interesting stuff that I have not seen explored very often in K-dramas. It definitely has a more serious, romantic, and dramatic edge to it, which I appreciated. Now, one of the cliches of K-dramas is that characters do not communicate with one another for the purpose of creating contrived conflicts in the story. In this show, there's definitely a communication problem between some of the couples, but that makes sense because that's one of the reasons why marriages break up in real life. You know what I mean? But the cool thing is that there are also a lot of very direct dialogue and conversations in this show, like tough conversations between these married couples. So, yeah, I liked that. So it gives you kind of both angles on that. Now, with that said, there's actually plenty of comedy that's blended into this show, and it works really well, I think. Most of the humor hits the mark, which is impressive given the serious, topics at play. The only comedic aspect that could rub some viewers the wrong way is the arc involving one particular side character who gleefully cheats on his wife. And it's played for laughs. Now, at first, I was questioning myself, should I be laughing with this character while he woos multiple mistresses behind his wife's back? But I must admit that some of his scenes were legitimately funny, and my goodness, the story has a fantastic payoff. It's good. So if it bothers you a little bit early on, stick with it. I think you'll end up liking that story arc. It's pretty good. Now, Sun-kyun Lee is our lead actor, it's just absolutely perfect casting for this role. If you've seen the movie All About My Wife from 2012, which I reviewed on my channel, you will know what I'm talking about. I mean, his character had some marital problems in that movie, and he did a fantastic job portraying a man who is involved in a romantic situation that is way over his head. Now, he's in a different situation in My Wife is Having an Affair This Week, but there are some similarities between the roles. I mean, this actor was born to play a man who is having all kinds of marital frustrations. He portrays the character so perfectly, and his acting range... With his acting range, he's able to convincingly execute intense drama and lighthearted humor within the same episode. You know what I mean? He's good. Now, Hyo Seong is our lead actress. You've almost certainly seen her at some point over the last 15 years in some movies or K-dramas. She was in Wishing Stairs, I think the third film in the Whispering Corridors franchise. Princess Hours, which was a big K-drama in the 2000s. Jumong, another big K-drama, and Emergency Couple, more recently. Her screen time in this K-drama is somewhat limited during the early episodes, like the opening episodes. You see her here and there, but not a lot. But the script focuses a lot more on her character as things move along. You know what I mean? It almost shifts like to her perspective a lot of times. Again, mad props to this show for creating a multidimensional character instead of simply making her out to be like a villain. You know what I'm saying? She's great in this, by the way. And on a side note, K-pop star Boa has a significant supporting role and gives a surprisingly good performance. I was impressed. You know, I saw her and I was like, I recognize this girl from somewhere. And sure enough, she was like a big K-pop star. And she really does a good job in this. And she provides some evidence that K-pop stars can be capable of making the transition to solid acting and giving good performances. So here's one example for you. Now, in terms of criticisms, I really can't think of a whole lot. You know what I mean? The pacing is actually pretty solid. You know, it's only 12 episodes, which is shorter for a K-drama, and I think it helps. My Wife is Having an Affair This Week is a very solid and well-written series. I strongly recommend it. It's currently available on Netflix streaming in the United States under the title Listen to Love. It's also available on Viki and Drama Fever. And as always, we'll see you next time.